Oh, hello guys! Good morning and welcome back to our channel. So for today's video, we will be talking about my 5 takeaways regarding my topics, wardrobe, makeup and props, and the setup for sit-down interviews. These topics are under the section 4 of the module, shooting and coverage. Okay, so in shooting or documenting or conducting a coverage, people or person or an individual, a subject is one of the most significant part of the set. He or she plays a vital role in the fulfillment of the activity or production. And with that being said, we wouldn't want our subject to appear in the camera just he or she is. The character or the personality that he or she will portray should reflect on his or her appearance. And that's when wardrobe, makeup, and props make sense. So as we know, wardrobe is well known as a very important part of the production. It is not just a variety of sets of clothes na pagpipilian para ipasuot sa talent or interviewee, but beyond that, it is responsible for the meaning or message that needs to be conveyed to the audience. And it works in different contexts, just like the makeup and props play a very relevant role, and that leads to my first 3 takeaways. So for my first takeaway, how wardrobe works in shooting and coverage in the context of documentary. So yung wardrobe, mahalaga siya for it lets the interviewee represent his or her role in the scenario. In the simplest manner, what the interviewee wear should identify him or her. For example, if we are interviewing a farmer and we are talking about the aspects of his crops, we wouldn't want him to wear a 3-piece suit. Or if we are interviewing a doctor, he would most likely wear a lab coat. This is what we are talking about. Character. Okay, to make it more relatable to us, halimbawa na lang we are going for a job interview. So, we wouldn't want to wear a pair of jeans and shirt for that one, but a formal or smart casual attire. And it also varies on what kind of documentary we will be having. To explain that further, let's take a look at it. In addition to that, the type of clothing including the color and design of the clothes na ipapagamit natin sa ating interviewees should be considered. Let's say for instance, a vertically striped shirt will seem to shimmer on video, or kung i-interviewin natin ay nakasuot ng black, we should not put them in a white wall or background because black absorbs light and the wall would look brighter. Conversely, hindi tayo magsushoot ng ating subject who wears black in a black background also if we don't want our subject to look like a disembodied head. So ayan, as we can notice, wardrobe is not just a simple context but it deals with various aspects that are significant in conveying a message to the audience and in adding good visual effects. So it is common for us to see in a production of entertainment outputs like movie or teleserye na mayroong makeup artist na nag-a-assist sa mga talents or artista doing the job to project the role on the screen. Because just like wardrobe, makeup contributes in conveying the right message and character to the audience. However, in a documentary, makeup is on a different perspective. Hindi gaya sa pelikula or teleserye na laging may makeup artist, in a documentary, minsan walang kasamang professional makeup artist, especially if you're in a low-budget production. So kapag hindi kayang magbayad ng makeup artist, nahihirapang humanap ng makeup artist na willing magbigay ng service for free or for credit. So in that cases, what we could do is to hire a professional makeup artist only in the days of the shoot and not on the entire production. And that is one point of practicality versus necessity. To add more to that, kapag nagkakandak tayo ng documentary, meron tayong tinatawag na man-on-the-street interviews, and it could be spontaneous. So, pag sinabi nating man-on-the-street interviews, ito yung mga scenario where we literally pick someone from the street or from the area kung saan tayo nag-interview. Let's say, for example, we are conducting a documentary about Super Typhoon Odette. So, we need clips and footages. We would have interviews, and from the crowd, hahanapin natin yung certain look. And in those cases, we may not have control over the wardrobe or in their makeup. We may not able to put a makeup in spontaneous interviews, but through that, we can make it real. Meron din namang mga interviews na pwede tayong maglagay ng makeup pero minimal lang, especially if yung interviewin natin ay hindi sanay na nilalagyan ng makeup, especially sa mga lalaki. It would possibly make them uncomfortable, and we would not want our subject to look uncomfortable in front of the camera. So in those cases, we can use our camera as our makeup assistant, like ayusin natin sa angle or tingnan natin kung saan part na medyo fresh or yung lighting, and through that is the second point of practicality versus necessity. Moreover, part of the makeup section in collaboration with the use of props is special effects. This does not necessarily pertain to the digital side, but this pertains to the artificial things or works that are needed to be shown in the scene. Meaning, hindi ito yung natural. Kaya kailangan pagtrabahuan para gawing mukhang natural at totoo. Say for example, there are documentaries that reenact real-life scenarios about killings and accidents wherein blood and wounds are necessary aspects. So, in these cases, special effects and makeup effects take place with the use of props, which lead to my third takeaway, the importance of props. Kahit sa ang production, merong props. Lagi nating naririnig yung props because props plays a vital role in a production. Even in documenting a coverage or creating a documentary. Nagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, importante ang props in special and makeup effects. Even a simple tissue for artificial wounds or kahit yung isang simpleng box na nasa pinakagilid ng frame, lahat yan importante. I remembered one of our instructors said in our discussion before, hindi pwede yung walang ganito, walang ganyan, walang ganun. Dapat laging meron. Gagawan mo ng paraan para magkaroon. Dapat lahat posible. Kung kailangan mo ng pink na walis at walang pink na walis, gumawa ka sa kahit anong paraan at magkakaroon ng pink na walis. Because that is how props important. Every single thing creates meaning in a production. On that note, props can also make shots more visually interesting, just like this picture. This picture is a young girl trying to manage an umbrella, and the props here is the umbrella. Well, this was used as a B-roll for an interview of a mother about her daughter's health condition, and this added visual interest to the viewer. It made sense. So, as we can see, those three are vital in shooting and creating a documentary. Now, proceeding with our discussion for today, hope you're not getting bored. In documentary, laging may interview, hindi nawawala ang interview. And kung nabanggit ko kanina na merong man-on-the-street interviews, meron din tayong tinatawag na sit-down interviews. Now, paano ba ang setup nitong sit-down interviews? Well, that leads to my fourth takeaway, the essence of frame, positioning, questioning, and lighting in a sit-down interview. So when we are doing a sit-down interview, we should frame our subject's head and shoulder in a medium shot. Now, during the interview, kung mahilig sa hand gestures ang ating subject, pwede tayong manatili sa medium shot. Pero pwede rin tayong mag-zoom in ng konti for the expressions ng mukha and for intimate shots. Now, for the positioning, our subject should be 6 to 8 feet ang layo sa camera, and the camera should be a little lower than our subject but not too low para hindi magkaroon ng double chin effect. And also, in a sit-down interview, dapat ang interviewer ay hindi nasa gitna banda ng interviewee at hindi siya nakatabi dun sa camera. Instead, dapat nasa left or right corner siya sa harap ng interviewee para kapag sasagot ng questions sa interview ay hindi siya direktang titingin dun sa camera. Now, in building up questions or for the questioning, importante na nagbe-build tayo ng rapport with our subject or interviewee so that they would feel comfortable with us and hindi na sila kakabahan during the interview. So, pwedeng magkaroon tayo ng mock interview with our interviewee and for 15 minutes possible na mawala ni uncomfortability na nararamdaman nila. And during the interview, mas mag-focus na lang sila sa questions and interviewer instead of the fact na or the idea na nakaharap sila sa camera, especially if hindi sila sanay na humarap sa camera. One more thing is that sa isang sit-down interview, dapat na yung question natin ay nagagawa natin na i-state ito ng ating interview, like they would convert it into a statement, which is makakatulong kapag nasa editing phase na tayo ng ating production or documentary. And another thing na bago matapos ang ating interview ay ulitin natin yung ating mga first few questions para makakuha tayo ng better answers from our interviewee. And lastly, all throughout the interview, we should keep the camera rolling. Sa lighting sa isang sit-down interview, meron tayong mga main points about this. These are the key light, fill light, and backlight. So, as we can see in this picture, nandyan makikita kung saan nakaposisyon yung tatlong klase ng lights na nabanggit ko kanina. So, the key light ay nasa harap siya ng interviewee, which puts focus on the subject or the interviewee, and the backlight naman ay nasa likod na bahagi ng interviewee to cast light sa head ng ating subject and to separate him or her from the background. While the fill light, it is used to get rid of the shadows na pwede siyang nasa left or right part ng ating subject. While this three main lights ay napakahalaga para sa isang interview, lalo na sa isang sit-down interview, para maiwasan natin yung mga unnecessary nakikita natin sa frame ng ating camera at para din hindi maging destructive sa paningin ng subject and also ng ating audience. And getting to the last takeaway that I would share with you, it is the value of time. So, importante sa kahit anong klase ng production or kahit sa everyday life natin, especially in a sit-down interview, ang value ng time. So, kung meron tayong scheduled time for the interview, dapat ay darating tayo 1 hour before the scheduled time so that we have plenty of time to fix everything or to set up our equipment. Also, para meron pa tayong time para pag-isipan kung paano natin gagawin yung shoot, like kung saan natin gagawin yung interview, saan natin ipupwesto yung ating interviewee, kung saan magandang location na mas magiging maganda yung angle or yung gusto nating maging kalalabasan at para makahanap pa tayo ng pwesto na mag-fit para sa gusto nating mangyari, wherein sana ay hindi malapit sa bintana para mas kontrolado yung ilaw or light na papasok. And of course, para meron pa tayong time na i-brief yung ating interviewee about the interview or the questions kung paano natin ito gustong masagot or kung ano yung result na gusto nating mangyari. Kagaya nga ng nabanggit ko kanina, meron sanang 15 minutes para mag-mock interview yung subject or yung ating interviewee with us, the interviewer. And magagawa lang natin yun kung meron tayong enough time to do that. Kaya dapat ay maaga tayo lagi sa schedule time ng ating interview. Ayan, sana ay hindi kayo tinamaan ng boredom. So, lagi nating tatandaan yung ating 5 takeaways in shooting and coverage, wardrobe, props, and makeup, and the setup for sit-down interviews. So, una dyan ay how wardrobe works in shooting and coverage in the context of documentary. Pangalawa ay practicality versus necessity. Pangatlo dyan, ang importance of props. Next ay the essence of frame, positioning, questioning, and lighting in a sit-down interview, and the value of time. So, if you like this video, please click the like button and you can also subscribe to our channel. See you next time, guys. Bye!